Welcome on in, Gearheads. I had to turn my microphone on. I'm Alan Bailey. Before we get into the 2023 Daytona 500 action, make sure that you mash that subscribe button to stay up to date on the latest videos and log on to AmericanRacingNetwork.com for the latest motorsports news. ARN, the Motorsports Authority. Y'all are already getting active in the chat. Welcome on in. If you didn't see, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Ricky Spinhouse Jr. just won the 2023 Daytona 500. Have you ever? I mean, my gosh, no one picked this guy. No one. Like, we all blew him off because it's Ricky Spinhouse. So we all just kind of went, me, whatever. If you didn't see it, here's that finish. Honestly, blown away by this. I mean, you see him here. They've taken the white flag. Ricky's there on the bottom on the double yellow line. I feel bad for Larson, man. Larson just lost the draft right there. Got spun by Travis Pastrana right there in the 67. It brought out the caution on the white flag. And due to video evidence, it was very clear that Ricky was clearly ahead of the 22. So, I mean, this little, I don't even want to call them the little race team that could, because I do not think that they are the little race team that could, because they're not. They are not a little race team. Yes, they are a single car operation, but they have all the money. They have the resources of Hendrick Motorsports, essentially, or a Team Penske. They have a lot of sponsorship dollars around them. Look at all the sponsors on board of that car. They have the money. They have the resources. We were all just kind of waiting to see, frankly, what was happening with the actual team. Like, what's going on? Why aren't they actually, really performing? And they finally stepped it on up. They got the job done today. They have made the 2023 postseason now. So they've made the playoffs now. They've locked themselves in. So congratulations to them. Ricky Spinhouse Jr. right there in the number 47 for JTD Darty Racing. So Brad Darty beat Michael Jordan today on the racetrack. So let it be known. The chat is open. It's not showing up on the screen, so we're going to hopefully get that fixed here for you momentarily. But it was, Lennox dominant in the chat. Way too many commercials. Yeah, it was the great American commercial break all race long. I saw that on my Twitter at Hey Alan Bailey. Eric Sipes in the chat. Ricky Spinhouse just blew up everyone's playoff grid. No kidding. I mean, my goodness. I'm blown away. Yes, we're going to talk about it. But let's get into some hot topics and talk about everything that happened out here over the weekend in Speed Weeks. It was not just this one race, and I know I'm already sweating like crazy. Dominance in the chat. Today was the last day I watched NASCAR live. From now on, I record it, watch it later, and fast forward through the 1.5 mil commercials. Yeah, I believe you in there. Look at the chat's working. There we go. So, yeah, I very much feel you on that, man. I mean, it was just, yeah, Fox was a little rough today. I mean, Fox is rough in general, and I remember, and Ricky Stenhouse live in Daytona is getting pushed off of into victory lane, I should say, because he ran out of fuel. And fuel was an issue here. We saw 2 green-white checkers, so we knew that fuel was going to be very tight for these guys, and it definitely was. As you could see, yes, we do have a brand new studio. Moved over the I guess time that off week. I mean, some people call it, Super Sunday. Myself, that was moving weekend for me. So we moved into a brand new place, my wife and I. So we have some memorabilia. Yes, I have a piston cup right there next to one of my broadcasts. We go to the finish of stage number 1. Lap cars, you see them right there on the inside. Kind of playing a factor here as things kind of got a little dicey right here. As you could see, the field kind of ducking up onto the high side right there, and it got a little dicey. Oh boy, you could see the 16 putting his nose where it doesn't belong. Hey man, he's trying to stay on the lead lap. He's trying to catch this draft. The number 15 just hanging out right there. It got dicey right there, but ultimately, no problems. Just it was a hold your breath kind of moment right there as things got really dicey. But then we see a wreck here in turns 3 and 4. It would take out Chase Elliott, Eric Jones, and others. Just very unfortunate. Eric Jones in that Guns N' Roses 43, very cool paint scheme. Unfortunately, did not survive the jungle today. Getting to some of the chats in the chat right now, Dakota. NASCAR Cup Series Daytona 400. It was the Daytona 500, but yeah, it's the first 400 miles, I should say. Fairly uneventful. I mean, we did have some cautions here and there. It just was very interesting. So we'll have to see what NASCAR says about the finishing order. I see a couple of you guys commenting on that. Wow, Stenhouse, Mark Thomas in the chat. Wow, Stenhouse was 40-1 odds. Yeah, anybody who put a little bit of money down on Stenhouse is walking away pretty happy today. Pretty darn happy. Vlogs with Gaming and Tommy in the chat. Bush beer? Bush like Kyle? Bush like Kurt? I mean, which Bush are we talking about? But yeah, Bush. But I felt bad for Kyle Busch, man. He came so darn close, and he said it on the radio. If this was 1998, that would have been the win, boys, and it didn't happen, unfortunately. So I feel bad for him, man. I really do. It just didn't end up happening. Feel so bad for him. Gary Kennedy in the chat. Ricky drives a Chevy. Yes, he does, Gary. Don't think I said otherwise earlier, but maybe I did. I don't know. Lennox in the chat. NASCAR shouldn't have called that caution with two lefts. Suarez was far enough off the track. Yeah, I mean, let's take a look at that real quick. Was he far enough off the track? Yes. But, I mean, NASCAR wants that green-white checkered. They want to make the Sports Center highlights. And honestly, that car was pretty damaged. So, yeah, I'm never, and I mean, come on. Yeah, he I don't think he intentionally drove it into the grass, but I mean, you see him spin right here, and that's fine. But if he kept control and got it down pit road into his pit stall, then yeah, go ahead and not call the caution. But the fact that you see it right here, he kind of plows it into the grass and gets stuck in the grass. We saw some rain in Daytona, big surprise. That was evident enough right there to let the caution fly. I felt really bad. I feel really bad for Kyle Busch, man, and Kyle Busch fans and RCR fans, because he had this one, man. He really did. Him and the three were up there doing what they had to do. They were really taking it to RFK, which, by the way, had a heck of a race. Heck of a race for the RFK drivers of the 6 of Brad Keselowski, the 17 of Chris Buescher. They were right there, man. They had a shot, but really right there at the end when it counts, Kyle Busch, Austin Dillon, the two RCR teammates really showing up. Chevy definitely came to the front right there at the end, but Ford has been strong all day. I'm getting the feels of the 90s when the Taurus was so dominant with the Taurus nose. This new Ford nose is really good. And Chevy got some minor variations, and supposedly Toyota did too to the new noses. I'm going to be posting some photos on social media at Hey Alan Bailey of those that I took at the Clash. And looking at the Ford, it does look like there's a little bit of an advantage there. Supposedly NASCAR worked with all of these teams with the nose to work the nose, work the tail, so that numbers-wise, everybody's in the same ballpark, but clearly Ford was strong in Daytona today. Hi, Uncle Alan in the chat. Hi, Kathy, my niece joining us on the show tonight. I love it, man. But let's get back into these. Really, with about 20 to go is when things started to get interesting, because you saw the caution come out, this caution right here, that would ultimately end a lot of drivers' days. A lot of drivers' days. The number 34, the 41, I hate seeing this with 20 to go, man. This is just atrocious. And MTJ, Martin Truex Jr., got a piece of it. You could see him right there, but I believe he continued on that. But let me know in the chat, what did you think of the Daytona 500 today that just concluded out in Daytona? Do you agree with all the officiating we saw? I think really there wasn't, in my mind, we didn't really have any big moments where, you question, why did NASCAR call it this way or that way? I didn't see any officiating issues personally, but maybe I'm in the minority. Let me know in the chat, what did you guys think of NASCAR officiating today and the drama in the Great American Race out there today? But I didn't see any issues at all personally. But yeah, you could see everything being caught up here. Just Jimmy Johnson in the 84 getting a piece of it. You could see the 4, Kevin Harvick right there spinning on the apron. Even the rookie, the 54 of Ty Gibbs right there getting a piece of it as well. As the Fox broadcast has concluded, it looks like now. But I mean, just that's how quick it is. That's how quick it is right there. Let me know in the chat. What did you guys think of the race today? Do you think that, I mean, just that was such a hard hit right there. But let's look at that final caution. Just we were coming to the white flag, and you could see the 3 was getting pushed right there. And just the 24 just pushed a little too hard. I mean, it's go time. This is when the cautions happen with the closing laps right here. But you gotta feel, man, for these guys, because that's a tough one. That's a really tough one right there. I mean, coming to the white flag, come on. I mean, uh, uh, and you could see riding on board with Harrison Burton right here, and he was far enough back. Just barely got a little bit of it. Just goes for a spin through the grass. I mean, if you got to get hit, passenger side doors where you want to get hit, but man, I'd rather not get hit at Daytona. Harrison Burton in his second year for the Wood Brothers in this number 21 Ford. Infinitely Stoned in the chat. I hope Larson is all right. Yeah, again, we have not seen any updates on Kyle Larson. We are waiting to see what NASCAR says about that. But Kyle Busch, was talking to media members. I'm kind of just checking and seeing if y'all have any updates on Larson. Let me know in the chat, because I'm hosting this. I'm here with you guys, looking for this information. I haven't seen anything on Kyle Larson as of yet. Jimmy Johnson was checked and released from the infield care center. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen anything come about. I'm worried about him though, because that was a legitimately tough hit. But yeah, it looks like the aid of Kyle Busch was taken, was essentially towed back to the garage area after that final caution. So let me show you this final crash, this final moment here. So the white flag is already out, and you could see Larson's right there in the middle. You could see Stenhouse on the bottom. This again is the footage courtesy of NASCAR and Fox. He just gets turned. That's a hard hit. I haven't heard anything. Lennox Dominance in the chat. What's the word on Larson? I didn't realize he was hurt that bad. I don't know if he is, honestly, Lennox. I don't. And let's go back to the duels on Thursday night and look at this scary incident where Kyle Busch was turned head on into the wall. You look at this in slow motion. He takes this hit pretty hard, and look at his head in this car right here. Bam. Yeah, his head moved forward significantly. That's not a good hit. Hitting head on into the wall at almost 200 miles an hour is pretty darn bad, but boom, right there. That right there is the Hans device working. That is what we want to see. Bam, right there. That's the Hans device stopping that head from going forward. Otherwise, we would have had a very, very, very different show tonight if Kyle Busch wasn't wearing a head and neck restraint right there. It would have been pretty darn bad. But again, thank God he's fine. So I would imagine, I'm hoping that Larson is fine as well. Again, we haven't heard anything good or bad. I haven't seen any interviews with him after the race in the care center. So we're all kind of, I don't want to say we're holding our breaths, but we're awaiting to hear what happens. But what happened, I should say, to Larson. But it's just it's tough, man. It's tough. Swifty guy in the chat. Fox broadcasting crew seems bored the entire race. Very little excitement or enthusiasm. Maybe it's a Russ thing. I 100% agree with you there, Swifty guy. I do not think it is that. I think what it is I think it's just simply the Fox broadcasters not being that good. I think Mike Joy is holding that ship together, but I don't think Clint is that good. He definitely needs somebody with him. And Tony is good, but he's not the guy that is going to really show up and give you that energy either. So you have two kind of meh guys in there. And yes, for those asking, I guess we're the only post race coverage because the race has ended. FS1 is basketball right now. I just checked on the iPad. And Fox obviously went to TMZ because a TMZ episode from 3 days ago is clearly more important than interviewing everybody from the Daytona 500 race that we just saw. Give you another look at the finish right here. You could see the number 47 right there, Chevy of Ricky Stenhouse right there leading on the bottom. Larson gets shuffled into the middle right there. And unfortunately, the 64 gets turned by the 10 and spins him into the 5, and that ends the race under caution, unfortunately. And yes, it looks like Bubba Wallace was caught up in that, unfortunately, so that explains his poor finishing result right there. But just absolutely crazy. Craig Wahlberg in the chat, that's what I was thinking. Why is there no extended post-race coverage? I am not a Fox executive. I'll tell you this, though. I was at the LA Clash when the Fox brought out their broadcast crew, all of their on-air personalities and talent, which, in their defense, are great. There is some wonderful talent at Fox. The issue is with the producers and the directors of the broadcast. Those are the ones who tell the cameraman what to call, where to go, how close to zoom in, how far to zoom out, that sort of stuff. That's where the problem is. When to go to commercial, how often to go to commercial. These are the things that need working on out there. And honestly, the whole press conference was essentially just a circle jerk of, oh, Fox is so great. Fox is so great. Oh, we're so great. We love everybody. Clem Boyer making a joke about a helicopter. Whee! It wasn't a good press conference. I pulled a couple of people aside and said, hey, fans don't like those stupid goofy ass cartoons. Are you getting rid of those? They don't like your weird close-up shots. Are you getting rid of that? You're gonna stop going to commercial every 15 seconds? And I essentially got we're changing very little on our broadcast. We're sorry that this offends certain people. It's offending everybody. I absolutely despise the Fox broadcasts. They're horrible. Back in the day, I mean, give me Daryl, Larry, and Mike. Man, those three, when they were at their peak, were great. And I'm talking 15 years ago. They were wonderful, but we do not get that these days. And Mike Joy is clearly out of his prime. Swifty guy in the chat, Mike Joy had a lot of mistakes, including Josh Harris, when Fox cut to Christopher Bell interviewed. Seem uncharacteristic for Joy. He's usually the best commentator. I'm going to tell you right now, Mike is way past his prime. I love Mike. I think he's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful broadcaster. I think he's sincerely one of the top 5 best NASCAR, motorsports, sports broadcasters of all time, period. I think he should have retired by now. I think he should have retired 3 years ago at this point. I think the entire reason he's doing it is because who are you going to get in that booth? I don't know. I really don't. But Mike is the only good thing with that Fox broadcast right now. I will watch the Fox broadcast because of Mike Joy, period. Craig in the chat, Fox is still better than NBC, just saying, I'm 50-50 on that. I really am. Swifty in the chat, ESPN called Stenhouse win in double overtime. There was one overtime, correct? No, it was 2 overtimes. I will show you right now. This is what brought out the first overtime. With 3 to go, we saw, in the official race, with 3 to go, we saw the 99 spin coming off of 4, and you could see it right here, his crew scrambling, and he gets stuck in the grass. That brought out the first green, white, checkered. And you could see Busch and Dillon were leading. Then, when we were on that green, white, checkered, after this caution, this happened coming down the back straightaway, coming to the white flag. We had just taken the green flag. We were coming to the white flag, and then Dylan gets turned by the 24 who was shoving him, trying to get him a run. This brought out the second green-white checker overtime. A bunch of chats just came in. Lennox in the chat. Boyer is awful. I'd rather see Jamie McMurray there. Lennox, that is a great idea. I sincerely will mention that to them because I'm next weekend. We're here, Auto Club Speedway, Fontana, California, for the last race at the 2-mile track. Potentially the last race ever in Fontana, California. Not joking. Heard from a source. Again, I cannot confirm this, but I heard from a source that Auto Club's. Let me back up. A source has told me that NASCAR has supposedly received a very lucrative offer for the land that Auto Club Speedway sits on. Not part of it, but all of it. NASCAR was looking at selling some of the parking lot because converting that track from a 2-mile track to a half-mile track means that you have more land there than you need. And that land is extremely valuable. Land in California, especially in Fontana at the moment, extremely valuable. So NASCAR was trying to sell off part of that land in order to, frankly, pay for the 2-mile, the half-mile conversion of Auto Club Speedway. But I'm hearing that the person that initially offered them, that NASCAR approached to sell the land to, said, we want the whole thing or nothing. NASCAR supposedly is considering this. NASCAR is supposedly looking at other places to build a racetrack in Southern California. They're kind of looking at their options, whether they want to return to the Coliseum and make that a points race, whether they want to just have the Clash at the Coliseum permanently and no other points paying race in Southern California, whether they want to do the half-mile conversion and simply not sell the land and pony the money for that conversion, or if they find another buyer for some of that land. But nevertheless, reportedly, NASCAR has an offer on the table to buy all of the land that the Auto Club Speedway currently sits on, and that is an option that they are supposedly considering. Cannot confirm this. This is a report that I heard. I'm just simply reporting what I heard. I can't confirm it, though. And I do know that NASCAR is still looking at their options. That is confirmed. So NASCAR is still kind of figuring out what they want to do with racing in Southern California. They like what they see at the Clash. They love what they see at the Clash. They like the attendance, and they like what has been happening with Auto Club Speedway. And let's talk about that for a minute. We all love Auto Club Speedway. We all love Auto Club Speedway. But the problem is that racetrack is essentially just all filler at this point. It is falling apart. The racing surface I'm talking about. It is 25 years plus 27 years old now at this point. It needs to be repaved. If it gets repaved, we're going to see garbage racing out there for 10 years. No way around it. NASCAR's looking at ways to potentially save the 2-mile track, or if they want to go to the half-mile conversion. Either way, they officially announced there will be no race in Fontana, California in 2024. That deeply saddens me, because I'm currently sitting not too far from Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California. I love that track. I've been going to that track for, how long has it been around? Since 97. I've been going out there literally the entire existence of that facility. I love that track. That is my home track. I love that place. I'm literally going to jump on iRacing as soon as the broadcast is over and do an iRace an ARCA race at Auto Club Speedway. So I'm deeply saddened that we are losing that 2-mile track, but it's time. You can't just keep putting filler into a racetrack and hoping that it survives, because at some point these guys are just racing on the filler, which is exactly what's happening. So I hope that we see some variation of that track come back in 2025. But I'm deeply saddened, because I might have to go to Vegas or to Phoenix to go to a cup race in 2024. That saddens me. But nevertheless, it's all good. In the chat, DB, I like Tony. Cool. Tony Stewart's cool. Yeah, I mean, he's a really good guy. Like, a lot of people say he's a jerk because he's passionate, but no, he is a great human being who honestly is passionate. He's playful, but you got to get to know him, and he's not going to sit there and take, flack from people, more or less. So I like Tony as well. And Lennox Dominance in the chat. I like Tony too. Good for you. I dig it, man. Tony Stewart is a great driver. Let's actually talk about some Xfinity racing real quick. Saw a heck of a little race, man. I mean it, because you look at the Xfinity Series, we're kind of waiting and seeing how things develop in the Xfinity Series this season, because you had the guys who won like 90% of the races move up to the Cup Series for 2023, so that kind of leaves a power vacuum with that series. So the question is who kind of takes over? Austin Hill is one of those guys. Cole Custer is the obvious one, him moving down into that 00 car that started on the pole. Justin Allgaier in the 7 car is kind of like the Ron Hornaday of that series. The guy who, frankly, I'm still amazed he hasn't won a championship. He's been in the Final Four, I think, like the last 5-6 years running, however many years it's been now for him. And he honestly is the guy that is just continuing to power forward and be in that series, continuously running near the front, but hasn't gotten the job done. Is this the year that Allgaier finally gets the job done? You can see the issues right there for the 11 car and the 07. And once again, you see them getting into the grass and staying there. Yeah, that's not just a quick pit stop, guys. That's a biggie. The wider restart zones. I'm dead serious when I ask this, and I've asked this to NASCAR, and nobody can give me a straight answer. Why? 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 Why don't you make the restart zone from pit entry, literally the pit entry, to the start finish line? That way it's consistent at every racetrack that we go. That's your restart zone, period. They widened that restart zone this year at all tracks, and they allowed the choose cone to be at the super speedways as well, which they should have done in the first place. So I don't know. NASCAR is usually slow to change when it comes to rule changes. They like to be methodical and smart about it, and they usually take their time longer than they should. They waited a whole year to change that tire rule about the tire, if a tire comes off, and the suspension protocol for a tire coming off in the Cup Series once they actually went from the 5 lug nut spindle to the single one. But why they're taking their time with the restart zone is kind of beyond me at this point, but that is where we are. But we did see some pretty good racing. You can see the 21 right there almost wrecked the field, man. I'm still blown away that he survived that one. And Allgaier came on the radio and said, well, okay, made an enemy. And that was kind of it. That was kind of the start of it right there. I don't want to call it the negative press, but that was the negative for Austin Hill. So he's kind of got a bullseye on his back right now from the field, especially in this race. But we did see a pretty darn good little race for the Xfinity Series, Austin Hill getting the victory. Let's talk trucks. The trucks on Friday night. And by the way, it was a sellout for the 500 in the infield and in the grandstands. Same with the Xfinity. The Xfinity Series wasn't sold out, but it was the best crowd we've seen there in about 10, 15 years, give or take. Same with the Truck Series. And ratings for the Truck Series and Xfinity Series, from what I'm hearing, were already pretty darn high. Social media mentions for NASCAR this entire weekend were also up. So ratings, hopefully for NASCAR, continuing to rise, continuing to go trend in a positive direction. So this is great for NASCAR. And the fact that I can say this again, because I said this the first time I ever went on the air, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. And it took me a while to get used to Camping World, and then Gander Outdoor, and then Camping World again. Now we're back to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Craftsman is back, baby. I mean, Craftsman's back. They're going to be racing at Wilkesboro this year. Like, that does my heart good, man. It really does. I'm legitimately excited for all of it, man. But we did see a pretty darn good little truck race as well. It was Zane Smith who got the victory in the number 38 truck, which, by the way, is going to be making some cup starts in the number 38. Like, kind of knew that was coming. I do feel bad. I can't even think of his name right now, but I'm sorry, I'm blanking on his name. He drives the Todd Gilliland. Todd Gilliland, I feel bad for him because We found out that Gilliland is losing 5 races in that number 38 because Zane Smith's going to be taking over the number 38 Front Row Motorsports Ford for 6 races, actually. Phoenix in March, Talladega in April, Sonoma, Texas, and Charlotte in October. So, I mean, I feel bad for Gilliland, but I mean, considering that 38 Ford in the Cup Series has had, I think it was like 5 different drivers in 5 straight years, and then this is the first year where it's the same driver, but kind of, Zane taking over as well, so it's a little bit. But, I mean, good for Zane. Zane's going to be taking over that 38 Ford next year, mark my words, if Zane doesn't get picked up by Stewart-Haas, because who does Stewart-Haas get to replace Tony Stewart in the 4 next year? Who do you have in your camp right now ready to go? Excuse me. Are you going to put Riley Herbst in that car? No, you're not going to put Riley Herbst in that car. Come on, get real. You're going to put Zane Smith in that car. Zane's done some stuff, man. He was actually pretty darn sporty all speed weeks in the Cup Series. And, I mean, Todd Gilliland, no offense, Todd, what have you done for me lately? Todd's got something to prove this year. So he's got to go out there and he's got to show these guys, yeah, I know what I'm doing. And Todd's going to be moving into the 15 car, the number 15 Ford for Rick Ware Racing for at least 5 races, I want to say. I'm double checking that right now. Yeah, for 5 races. Gilliland's going to be in the number 15 Rick Ware Racing Ford for 5 races, including March, the Phoenix race in March, Charlotte, Sonoma, Texas, and the Charlotte Roval. So, interesting. We're going to have to wait and see on that one. That's going to be an interesting one. But, I mean, if I'm Todd Gilliland, go out there and show them what you're worth because you're racing for your job at this point. It really, really wouldn't surprise me if by the time we get to the midway point, by the time we get to Indy, but by the time we get to Chicago for the street race on 4th of July weekend, it wouldn't surprise me if Todd Gilliland was in the number 15 Rick Ware Racing Ford for the remainder of the 2023 season. And you had Zane Smith moving over to the number 38 Ford for 2023, the rest of the 2023 schedule. That would not shock me at all. At all. But we're going to have to wait and see. As far as official finishing order, we are still waiting from NASCAR to see what the finishing order is. I want to get that to you as soon as NASCAR puts it out. Okay, so I think we have a finishing order. This is super, 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 super duper unofficial. I'm looking at it on NASCAR.com. There we go. It updated. Thank you, NASCAR. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. gets the win. Joey Logano, 2nd. Christopher Bell, 3rd. Chris Buescher, 4th. 5th, Alex Bowman. A.J. Allmendinger, 6th. Daniel Suarez, 7th. Ryan Blaney, 8th. Ross Chastain, 9th. Riley Herbst in the number 15 Rick Ware Racing Ford coming home 10th. You have Travis Pastrana coming home 11th. Kevin Harvick, 12th. Zane Smith, 13th. Cody Ware, 14th. Good for Cody Ware, man, legitimately. Corey LaJoie, 15th. Martin Truex Jr., 16th. 17th, we find Denny Hamlin. 18th, Kyle Larson after causing that last lap caution right there. You have Kyle Busch, 19th. Bubba Wallace, 20th. Eric Almirola, 21st. 22nd, Brad Keselowski. 23rd, Austin Cindric, the 2022 Daytona 500 champ. You have Noah Gragson in the Wendy's car coming home 24th. 25th, Ty Gibbs, the rookie. You have Harrison Burton, 26th for the Wood Brothers. Todd Gilliland, 27th. Michael McDowell, 28th. Connor Daly for the Money Team and Floyd Mayweather, 29th. 30th goes to BJ McLeod. Jimmy Johnson in the number 84, coming home 31st. Justin Haley, 32nd. 33rd, Austin Dillon, 34th, goes to William Byron for Rick Hendrick. Chase Briscoe coming home 35th. Ryan Pierce, 36th. 37th to Eric Jones. 38th to Chase Elliott. Tyler Reddick in the number 45 Toyota, 39th. And Ty Dillon in the number 77 Spire Motorsports Chevy, rounding out the field. Where did your favorite driver finish Let me know in the comments. As far as what is coming up next week, let me tell you. So next Sunday, this show will be live from Auto Club Speedway. There is rain in the forecast. There is tentatively rain. I'm going to pull up my app and see what the latest weather forecast is showcasing, but last I saw, it was raining in Fontucky, California. So let's see what's happening in Fontana over the course of the next few days. So at the moment, and just to give you a heads up on what's happening, Wednesday in Fontana, California at Auto Club Speedway, sunny with a high of 51. Thursday, a high of 45 degrees, 70% chance of rain. Friday, 80% chance of rain, 47 degrees is the high. Saturday, 80% chance of rain, 49 degrees is the high. Sunday, sunny and 57. 54 degrees on Sunday. It is going to be an extremely cold weekend in Fontana, California. Saturday, it looks like we're getting rain pretty much all throughout the overnights into the morning, and then maybe around 6 p.m. it could let up. So we could see a Saturday night race out at Auto Club Speedway. That looks like it's pretty accurate. The high is going to be right around 4 p.m. local time. So, realistically, 9 p.m. maybe. Probably Eastern, 10 p.m. Eastern is when we're going to get the Xfinity race on Saturday for you Cup fans. It looks like at 6 p.m. the rain is going to stop. It takes about an hour or so to dry a 2-mile track. So about 7 p.m. local time, that's about 10 p.m. Eastern, we should see the Xfinity race if NASCAR basically goes to race it that late. But I'm going to go ahead and say it now. We have a dip in the weather right around 9 a.m., but there's still rain that's going to be coming down. And it's not a lot. It's not. It's just enough rain to screw everything up. Because of course it is. But the good news is at the moment, it looks like it's going to stop raining altogether Sunday morning, early Sunday morning, around 2-3 in the morning local time. So by the time the sun rises, it should be dry. So the Cup race on Sunday is looking like a strong possibility. The Xfinity race could be moved to Sunday. We'll have to wait and see what NASCAR does and what the weather does. But either way, if you have bought a ticket to the Saturday race at the Auto Club Speedway, prepare for rain. Make sure that you dress warmly. I'm going to bundle up. I'm going to do all the bundling up because it's going to be very cold out there. So, Fontana. The last race at Auto Club Speedway, the very last race at Auto Club Speedway is going to rain. I've been out there when it's gotten rain delayed and when it's gotten pushed back to Monday a couple times. It's happened, I think, twice in the history of Auto Club Speedway. But it's Southern California. We get rain like 5 times a year. Like, we've gotten a lot of rain this winter, but still, I can be grumpy about it, and I can complain, and I can be a 5-year-old about it. You know why? Because my racetrack is getting rained on. So, 6 days, 19 hours, 54 minutes, and change until we drop the green again. And those Cup results that I read earlier are accurate to what we saw, to what NASCAR is now putting out there. So good for them. Pretty darn cool. We also found out that Dierks Bentley is going to be performing the pre-race concert for the NASCAR All-Star race at North Wilkesboro. Pretty darn cool. We also found out that Discount Tire is extending its sponsorship with Team Penske. Expect them to be on the number 2 for Austin Cindric for a handful of races throughout the 2023 schedule and maybe a couple of other races as well. We'll have to wait and see what they have to say. We also found out, and this is a controversial topic, and we will talk about it here on the channel. So NASCAR is talking to the manufacturers about electrification. Let's talk about this for a second. So 75 years in, this is literally where the sport is going. It's not so much NASCAR wants this, it's manufacturers want this because it's what the general public is doing now with cars. Electric cars, hybrid cars are coming to NASCAR. It's just a question of when, not if. And I know a lot of people are against hybrid cars simply because it's new technology, because it's not traditional. And I understand the hesitation, but we've seen in other forms of motorsports that electric powered engines are still extraordinarily great forms of racing, period. I don't care. Um, NASCAR officials said that this is something that is happening. David Wilson, president of Toyota Racing Development, said, quote, obviously social and market forces are driving all of us car manufacturers to be respectful and to be sensitive to put carbon reductions at the front of our business, unquote. Right there. Jim Campbell, U.S. Vice President of Performance and Motorsports for Chevrolet, said, quote, steps to hybridization or testing, unquote, in every series which it performs in is happening. So this is coming, period. There's no way around this, really. Mark Rushbrook, who is the global director for Ford Performance Motorsports, said that they are taking immediate steps to go to a low carbon fuel or responsible fuel, saying, quote, we've got a great formula here with Cup, Xfinity, and Truck, all three good national series, but there's an opportunity to look and do more and try to introduce that technology in a way that makes sense, unquote. It's coming. It's a question of when. It's not a question of if. So anybody who's like, ugh, hybrid, I don't want hybrid in my NASCAR. Get over it. You have to get over it at this point because it's coming whether you like it or not. Just like the numbers being moved forward, just like this next gen car, it's here whether you like it or not. We have to deal with it. And yeah, I wish the next gen car was better. Yeah, I don't like the number moving forward either. I prefer its center of the door, but that is simply where we are as a sport, where NASCAR is as a sport. And yeah, I frankly think that moving the Xfinity series to a hybrid series or an electric series would be great, but take that a step forward. Why not introduce a fourth national touring series for NASCAR? I mean, sincerely, why not? I mean, you've got the Truck Series, you've got the Xfinity Series, you've got the Cup Series. Add the fourth series and call it the Electric Series or the Hybrid Series. And you could get a company like Interstate Batteries to sponsor it. They would be all over that. You're telling me they wouldn't be? Come on, this just kind of sells itself. So if I'm NASCAR, I'm talking right now to sponsors trying to figure this out. I'm talking to teams to try to get this together. And you don't need a 40-car field. Just do a 20-car field. Make it small. Put it in the same league as the Truck Series so that the Truck Series has kind of a feeder system, because there needs to be a stopgap, in my opinion, between ARCA and Truck. And this Electrification Series would be the place to do it. We heard rumors and reports that NASCAR was going to have an exhibition race at the LA Coliseum a couple weeks ago. Didn't happen. NASCAR canceled it because they're still working on the technology. I'm all for taking our time. I really am. I think, honestly, it's just one of those things where this is coming sooner rather than later. We're going to have to look forward on this, not behind. And NASCAR does a great job of trying to plan things out and get things working for the future. So I do think it's going to happen at some point sooner rather than later. It's just a question of how long does this take and what does NASCAR do with the options? So we'll have to honestly wait and see. I think it's going to go pretty well, though. I really do. But, I mean, crazy race out in Daytona today. Congratulations to Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and everybody at JTD Darty Racing. Ricky getting back on board with his old crew chief, and it worked, man. I mean, I'm obviously blown away that Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in his first race back with Mike Kelly, who was his crew chief back in the day, that this worked. He tried this 2 years ago, or last year, I think it was, with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and this team, and it didn't work out. But Mike Kelly, first race back, Daytona 500 win. You cannot argue with those results. Jackhammer, JT in the chat, Kyle had it won. Suarez didn't wreck, he would have won. I agree with you, Jackhammer. He would have. Yes, that's exactly what would have happened. But unfortunately, this, with 3 laps to go, set up the first green-white checkered overtime uh, 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 restart. I had to think about that for a second. But I mean, this is just super speedway racing. You always get cautions in the last few laps where I don't ever see a super speedway race in the Cup Series ever not finishing under green white checker conditions moving forward, because not because drivers are incapable of it, not because NASCAR wants green white checkers, but because you get aggressive in the closing laps. And when you get aggressive, you can make mistakes. And things are happening so darn quick that it's human nature to have an incident. And we saw that here. This was the first green white checker setup for the 99 getting stuck in the grass. So anybody who thinks, oh, he could have driven out of that one, no, it rained in Daytona. That grass is treacherous. I can't wait until NASCAR ponies up the money to pave that grass and simply paint it. Just pave it all the way around and paint that grass green. Make it look like grass, or put AstroTurf down. Seriously. They did it at Atlanta and it looks great. Do it in Daytona. And I know it's going to cost NASCAR money, which means the France family is not going to give up that almighty dollar, but the France family needs to give up their billions of dollars in profits and pay for these changes, in my opinion. This was the first green white checkered with 3 laps to go in the Daytona 500. Then, on the green white checkered, the first green white checker attempt, going down the back straightaway, coming to the white flag, this incident happened for the number 3 of Austin Dillon getting spun off the bumper of the 24. Again, the 24 wasn't trying to take him out, wasn't trying to do this. This was an accident. It was an incident. It just happened. Jackhammer YT in the chat. They also did it in Charlotte. That is absolutely correct. This needs to be the future. At Martinsville, they eliminated it altogether and they just paved it and they painted it and it looks great. Martinsville essentially did it too. They just didn't put AstroTurf down and it looks great. So I think that that's the future. Us in San Bernardino, California, we did it too. We paved 15-ish years ago, 10-ish years ago. It's been a while, but we paved our entire infield. It used to be dirt. It used to be a football stadium out at Orange Show Speedway in San Bernardino, California, and we just paved the whole thing, and no issue, no harm, no foul. And the National Orange Show have raves on our track all day long, and we're, fine with it, I guess. We just find a lot of interesting things. Jackhammer JT in the chat. Been playing Thunder 04 on my Slim all day besides the 2 to 3 hour 500. Oh, you had a good day, my friend. What tracks did you race on? Who are you driving for? Is it your own team? What's your sponsors? Did you win any races? Let me know, Jackhammer, because I'm sitting here just like, oh, tell me more. And yes, for those asking or curious, NASCAR Thunder 2003 career mode is going to be coming back to the channel hopefully this week. Hopefully I get to record this week in the brand new home studio. We finished up the rookie season just a few days ago. I have signed a new sponsor in that series, so I'm pretty excited about the paint scheme. I'm really excited about the paint scheme, actually, so that's coming back. But I want to know, let me know in the chat, what do you guys like more of this live content, the news aspect of NASCAR racing here on Shifting Gears Live, or do you like more of the in-depth kind of look back throughout NASCAR history as far as like, hey, remember this race from 10, 15 years ago? Here's what happened. Hey, remember this driver from 10, 15 years ago? They're so great. Or do you like the gaming aspect? Let me know in the chat. We're kind of looking and feeling, and I want to get a sense for what you guys want to give you more of what you want on the channel. Craig Wahlberg in the chat. Any word on a press conference going live? Press conference, the post-race press conference was over about 30-40 minutes ago. Nothing really groundbreaking came out of that, honestly. It's a Daytona 500, yes, but ultimately this was the finish of the Daytona 500, and I have not heard official word on Kyle Larson, but I didn't hear that he was hurt. So I'm not anticipating anything happening with that. I know that's not the answer